cannot control when and how you choose to bring your children into this world and how they are raised and supported, there is no American dream.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Well, it's such a grotesque and crazy thing to say that clearly it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Oprah Winfrey is doing these infomercials with Kamala Harris. Hold on. Right after the FBI seized.
Oprah Winfrey is a well-known media leader and philanthropist, recognized as one of the most influential women in the world. Recently, however, she has been criticized for her political views, friendships with controversial people, and involvement in the woke movement. Tucker Carlson and others have pointed out that her influence may not be as positive as it seems. They've raised concerns about her connections with powerful criminals and her stance on abortion. In a recent talk, Jack Papp made a bold claim that Oprah started doing political infomercials to improve her public image after the FBI took tapes from Sean Diddy Combs' mansion, which allegedly contained damaging content.
Right after the FBI seized all of the P. Diddy tapes that Oprah is on from the parties that he was holding. And so I used to think that, we got to protect Trump, we got to keep him safe, Now I realize there's somebody else we got to keep safe. We've got to keep Diddy safe, because that's the next guy.
Oh, they're going to Epstein him. Exactly.
They're going to go for. This guy could tell, if you want to know how your government actually works, that's the guy we got to talk to. Tucker, I don't know, maybe you have an in. Could you get Diddy on the tour, maybe? No, I'm serious. This is how they run the government, though.
He's
this
definitely
is how
another Epstein operation.
This is how, there's an Epstein operation, and there's a Diddy. He's the Black Epstein, okay? He's just the Black Epstein. He just is.
I mean,
right?
The same groups behind Epstein are behind Diddy, and
the
they
question
just rolled
is,
him
because
up.
people would say, how is it that so many of our world leaders have gone to an island such as that, right? And they say, how could this have happened? How could it be such an open secret? And then when it happens, people come out, and Bill Gates again, by the way, and suddenly people say, oh, we all knew there was stuff about Jeff. What do you mean you all knew about this? What do you mean you knew about this kind of stuff? And you realize we're looking at it backwards. In order to become a world leader, you have to go to the island. In order to become a celebrity, you have to go to the Diddy party. This is the way their system works. It's a rite of initiation.
Absolutely, and that's what I've explained. Just like different mafias, you have to kill somebody so they have dirt on you. They know they're going to be videotaped doing illegal things so they can get in the gang. It is the initiation ceremony.
There once was a guy who actually infiltrated a certain initiation place called the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, well, the point is, old-fashioned time with the Republicans, that was the way to compromise them. Like, well, hey, you want to join this particular Republican club, you got to do this. And Ronald Reagan and Nixon refused. That's well known. But that's because that's how you get Republicans. Hey, we'll tell your constituents you're sucking, you know what. But for the Democrats and some Republicans like Hastert, it's like, hey, do you know that girl at that party? She was 16. Next, it's go in there with that 12-year-old girl, or you're not in the club. And the next, it's like, that 8-year-old, go in there and strangle her. We're gonna kill you. And let me tell you, they're not just raping kids. At Epstein Island and stuff. And I talked about it 15 years ago. First talk about it. They're killing kids, ladies and gentlemen. So they're only talking about 15-year-old girls. That they kill them.
So can I just ask you to assess?
Tucker Carlson used to have a more neutral view of Oprah. He recognized her as a great communicator, but expressed concerns about her true intentions. While he acknowledged her talent for engaging audiences, he questioned what she was really trying to say and if there was a hidden agenda behind her messages.
What you think?
Yeah.
How they would do? Oprah.
I mean, I think she'd have a pretty good shot.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, look, it depends on what they're running on. Clearly, Oprah is a remarkable communicator, probably without parallel right now. The question is, what is she seeking to communicate? Same with The Rock. What's his message? What does he say?
Over the years, Tucker Carlson's opinion of Oprah has changed significantly. He has grown more critical of her political and social views, resulting in some intense exchanges. One of the most heated moments occurred after Oprah spoke out in support of abortion rights. Tucker found her position shocking and labeled it grotesque and crazy, accusing her of promoting a woke agenda that he believes supports a morally questionable stance.
Oprah on abortion.
If you do not have autonomy over this, If you cannot control when and how you choose to bring your children into this world and how they are raised and supported, there is no American dream.
There's no American dream without abortion. That to me sounds like a woman that's had an abortion. I don't know, but that's what it sounds like to me. And
well, it's such a grotesque and crazy thing to say that clearly it's coming from somewhere.
Another moment that drew public attention was Oprah's video with actor Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson after the devastating fires in Maui. In the video, they asked people to donate money to help the victims. While the message seemed good-hearted, many quickly pointed out the irony. Oprah is one of the wealthiest women in the world and owns a large estate in Maui that has its own private firefighting team. Despite her vast resources, she was asking everyday Americans to contribute.
So hopefully you already watched this.
We were so concerned about what was happening in Maui. So if you send a donation, just click where you see below and send a donation. That money is going to go to one of many residents who have been displaced in Maui. We guarantee.
That's right. I know a lot.
So we appreciate any support that you can give all the people who were called.
Now listen to this.
You're so concerned about what's happening in Maui that you somehow managed to hire a private firefighting team to protect your land before the fires started. You're so concerned about what's happening in Maui that instead of taking some of that land and housing even a small portion of those displaced people, you've hired a private security team to keep them off your land. You're so concerned about Maui that you simply haven't had time to denounce any of the shady real estate deals which are robbing people of everything they have, you know, like the ones you were involved in that helped you acquire that land for pennies on the dollar of what it was actually worth. You're so concerned about Maui that instead of taking what would amount to a year's salary for you and 4 or 5 of your billionaire friends, which could be used to rebuild the entire place in a matter of months, you're jumping on social media and asking the American public, most of whom can't afford to pay their rent right now, to do it for you. You're so concerned about Maui that it's more important that you get social media points than that you help.
Okay, man, I'm gonna leave you with this article from Forbes. Here's Oprah Winfrey real-time net worth. $2.5 billion. Here's The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. And I actually like The Rock. $800 million. Together, they have more than $3 billion. Way more than $3 billion. You can't make this up, bro. God bless this lady. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section and catch you on the next one. It's a crazy world.
Fucking way is this happening? This fund of Maui that will put money directly in the hands of the people who need it right now. So if you send a donation...
There is no way that Oprah Winfrey, a mega billionaire whose house is one of the only houses that didn't burn down in Maui, is coming out here and asking us little folks to donate our money to the victims of the wildfires. There is no way that that's happening. During what can only be described as a modern day Great Depression, when people are losing their own homes and people can't afford to buy their own food right now, why don't you sell your mansion that seemed to somehow be saved from the wildfires and use that money to give back to the community that you feel so great about? There's another thought. Why don't you pick up the phone and call your best buddy Biden and find out why he's only sending $700 per household to those victims? I don't know if you know this, Oprah, but the government has all of our money. The people has no money. And we feel for the people in Maui. But we know and we learned good and goddamn well that if we donate to this organization, there ain't a person out there that's gonna see it. Your promises don't mean squat. Why don't you get on the phone and call up old boy Harvey Weinstein and see if he can donate? Oh, that's right. I forgot. Just when I literally thought Hollywood could not go any lower with their level of out-of-touchness, y'all just take the cake. What a slap to the fucking face of these victims. What is the matter with you? It's the ratio for me, so I know I'm not the only person that feels this way. Don't you dare donate a cent to that organization.
Oprah has come under increasing scrutiny for her connections to several controversial figures. She was once friendly with convicted criminals like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. More troubling, she interviewed João de Deus, known as John of God, a spiritual healer who was later convicted of running a sex trafficking ring.
Hire somebody you respect or maybe even love. And it feels good. I mean, if you're 7 years old and somebody, which I was trying to say this to my friends who had children, you're 7 years old and someone is stroking your penis, it feels good. Even though you don't have a name for what that is, it feels good. And when I first said this years ago, people were like, you're crazy, because everybody wants to believe it's like sexual assault and you're being thrown up against the wall and you're being raped. And I have said for years, if the abuser is any good, you won't even know it's happening.
Oprah legitimized the notorious sex criminal Joao Teixeira, aka John of God, as a miraculous faith healer, one who could cure cancer, giving him international recognition. Joao Teixeira is now serving 19 years in prison for the rape of 4 women. He is facing additional cases related to several sex crimes, including keeping teenage women as sex slaves in underground mines, forcing them to have his children, and selling their babies internationally for tens of thousands of dollars before murdering the women after about 10 years of childbirth. Oprah runs her own Leadership Academy for girls in Africa, a $40 million school for disadvantaged girls, where in 2007, several children were sexually abused and parents were only allowed to see their children once a month. It was very close with disgraced Hollywood mogul, rapist, and abuser Harvey Weinstein. Her Me Too documentary ignored Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein. Oprah was herself a teenage prostitute. She stokes the fires of racism in America. And she is a member of the Billionaire Club, or the Good Club, along with Bill Gates, George Soros, Warren Buffett, David Rockefeller, and Ted Turner. The so-called Good Club meets behind closed doors and discusses plans for global depopulation. The Great Awakening is upon us. When will humanity begin seeing these billionaire celebrities for who they really are?
Before these individuals were convicted, Oprah seemed eager to associate with them. This has caused some, like Tucker Carlson, to question her judgment and whether she really didn't know about the troubling secrets these men were hiding. In fact, she even had a whole interview promoting Joao de Deus, also known as John of God.
Describe yourself as a spiritual medium. What does that mean, a medium?
Médium, eu sou espiritualista.
As a medium, he's a spiritualist. He believes a great deal in God, and he practices this mission already 55 years.
Born on a farm to a family who rarely had enough to eat, Joao Teixeira de Faria was the youngest of 6 children. His father was a tailor, his mother a housewife who also ran a small hotel to make ends meet. Joao left school when he was 7 to work in his father's tailor shop. To this day, he cannot read or write. As a boy, Joao says he realized he was clairvoyant when he predicted a terrible storm that destroyed a neighboring village. This event began his journey as a spiritual medium.
Are we all, in some sense, missionaries of God? Do we all have the possibility in our own way to be a medium for God?
Todos nós somos médium.
Everybody is a medium
Pratica o bem.
who practices good. And we are all children of God. And each person has
In another conversation with Tucker Carlson, rapper and actor Ice Cube claimed that Oprah had allegedly blacklisted him. He said she distanced herself from him because he wouldn't support her political views. Ice Cube believes that Oprah's influence goes beyond her media empire, affecting who gets opportunities in Hollywood and who is left out for not aligning with her political beliefs.
Some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, I'm an outsider. And so, I'm not part of the club. So I have to go places for one that I'm welcome and where I can voice my opinion without somebody, saying I'm a bad person and that they never want to have me on their platform again.
What platforms have banned you?
I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. You know, I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but...
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know.
On
I don't know what that's,
on Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's really.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. You know, that's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, you know, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah. Do you think it's political or do you think it's deeper than that? I mean, you're not like a right-winger.
No.
No? No. You don't even seem that political.
No, I'm not really. I'm pretty much, you know, just want to do right by the people, you know. So if that comes through political means, that comes through the private sector, wherever it comes, you know, I'm down to work with whoever's down to do something right for the people.
Oprah's high-profile interview with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry grabbed headlines worldwide. The couple shared their challenges within the royal family, with Meghan discussing her struggles in particular. However, Tucker Carlson was not convinced. He criticized both Oprah and Meghan for portraying themselves as victims despite their wealth and power. He argued that it was hard for the public to sympathize with them because they are two of the most influential women in the world, suggesting that their narrative fit into a broader woke agenda.
That's the sad irony of the last 4 years, is I've advocated for so long for women to use their voice. And then I was silent.
Were you silent or were you silenced?
The latter. I came to understand that not only was I not being protected, but that they were willing to lie to protect other members of the family, but they weren't willing to tell the truth to protect me and my husband.
I had bodyguards, but I was not protected. I was silenced, says the lady doing a TV interview with Oprah Winfrey. When I speak, only 100 million people hear it around the world, though, to be fair, the number rises considerably once you count DVR and internet views. But the point remains, I have been silenced. I am a victim. Now, a rational person might consider this claim absurd, but amazingly, no one else seems to think it is. Oprah clearly doesn't think it's absurd. She's deeply empathetic. Oprah's worth more than $1 billion, but she knows the pain because she sees herself as a victim too, she often says.
As one of the most influential women in the world, Oprah Winfrey's actions and messages hold significant weight. However, as Tucker Carlson and others have noted, there are rising concerns that her influence may be used to promote a controversial agenda. From her connections with powerful criminals to her political activism, criticism of Oprah has only grown. So, do you think Oprah is the benevolent figure many see her as, or is there something deeper going on? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the bell icon for more updates.